session. And as you can see, we have another session on the really interesting part of Power BI, which is the visualization side of things. And we've got here today a veteran in this space. We've got Oloruntoba Fasakin. Is going to take us on this 1 hour journey, and I will try to get out of his way. So this session is brought to you by your BZEDGE and MHS Analytics. Your BZEDGE is a Microsoft Excel, Power BI, data analysis, training, consulting, and solutions company in Nigeria. And MHS Analytics is a Canadian arm. And so we offer the same types of services, maybe different clientele base, but this is what we've been doing for a decade plus. So today we've got with us Oloruntoba Fasakin. He's a data and BI analyst. He's got 5 years plus experience in the analytics space, in the consulting training space too. His major tool sets are Power BI, Excel, and SQL. He's someone who is passionate about sharing knowledge and empowering others. And you know, some of you might have even been in his classes. So I will share his LinkedIn link in the chat so you can connect with him. But right now, I will try to get out of his way so that he can take us on this 1 hour journey and take us through what he's prepared for us. So, Oloruntoba, over to you. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Michael, for that warm introduction. Thank you so much. So let me, since we are so pressed for time, I will just need to share my screen quickly. Okay, so I want to believe you can see my screen. Michael, can you see the screen?
It's coming up. Yes, it's visible.
Oh,
yes. Good.
Okay. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. I don't know where you are listening from. It probably be not even your end. So let me say good evening, everyone. And you're welcome to this session. We'll be looking at visualization basically. And then we're not just looking at visualization, we are looking at beyond the basics. So visualization is something that we all, as an analyst, you will do one way or the other. You sure must do visualization. And it's something most analysts actually are keen to do. They love doing it. Maybe I'm not one of those analysts anyway, but it's something you must do. Even if you like it, if you don't like it, you must do visualization. And I know, like I said, we all do visualization as analysts, but we don't want to look at it on the surface level. So I want to look at it beyond just putting up charts, putting up tables, putting up or designing your page, designing your visuals, which is almost analysts do or some analysts do. But beyond that, visualization is supposed to be a communication. So it's supposed to be something you can communicate with. I mean, communication between the analyst himself or herself and the stakeholder, the clients. What is it that you are trying to pass across to them as message or information? That is the goal of visualization. It is to communicate the work you've done from your data transformation steps. That's a Power Query or whatever to be used to clean your data, to your data modeling, what you modeled in your data, to your DAX, that's the calculations, those journey. Now, how do you now show me all the steps so far? It is in your visualization. So you need to go beyond just putting up or make your thinking go beyond just putting up charts, putting up table, putting up these maps, whatever visual you want to use. It goes beyond that. It is you communicating insights you're able to deduce from your work on the data set you have been given. So that is what we want to look at, basically how you can communicate even more, communicate efficiently with your data. So like I said, we are pressed for time. I would really not want to do too much of talking. I would just want us to go straight into it. So for this session, we'll be looking at some tools that can help you create some features in Power BI that can help you communicate better with your data. So more like your tool tips. I know some people probably have these tool tips here, your drill tool, maybe your drill down tool if you can, and there's some other things that can help you unhide patterns in your data. So that's what we'll be looking at majorly in this session. So I will just try and, of course, it looks like it's a whole lot about and scale things up. And like Michael said, if there are questions whilst I was doing something you're not so clear, you can keep those in the chat. When I'm done, we can attend to questions and we can take it up from there. So let's go straight at it. So this data set I'm using is a not-win data set. I know some of us are familiar, most of us are familiar with this data set. So I just had to quickly just come up with this visual. So I don't want to start creating visuals in this session. So I came up with this, and my data is basically a sales data. There are many other things beyond sales data. If I come under the table view, if I come under my fact sales, so you can see it has a lot of information here. Discount sales, but it's majorly a sales data, but it has more value fields beyond sales. So I was just able, and it spans from October 96 to April 98. So I just came up with this, and I want us to just see how we can communicate even efficiently with this data set. Okay, so I will want to start with something we call the tooltip. I know some of us are familiar with it, but I just want to create it and then show us how we can make it even better beyond just what we use it for. It can be customized to communicate even more. You can tell stories better with what we call tooltips. Okay, so now let's quickly look at how we can create a tooltip with our visual. So I have a page here already. I've not created anything. So this is for the sake of those who probably do not know how to build a tooltip. So I'll just build it and then see how we can make it even better for communication's sake. So I have a page here. Of course, you know how to create a page in Power BI. If you're creating it, once you created the page, you come to your formatting, to your page formatting, and under page information, you see something called, I'll just call this, of course, this is the page name. So I'll tick this to allow me use this page as tooltip. And once I do that, if you notice the difference, the page shrinks to something like this. Once I've done this, then I can come to the canvas setting. Maybe I want to make the tooltip be at the top, at the middle, or okay, so either at the top or at the middle. If I want it to the top, then it goes to the top. If I want it to be at the middle, anyone is fine. It depends on what you want, really. So I can also still customize this. Maybe I don't want this page. This page is too short for me. I can maybe change it here, or custom. So I can change custom. I can make it, maybe increase the width or the height, whatever it is I want to do. So that is left for you to do. Maybe this, I can just maybe increase the height a bit to around 340. And then maybe this, I can make this 380, because I probably will want to put some level of information in here. So this is fine. And I would need a table. I'll need a table. Let me use this table. Remember that we are still looking at visualization, how you can communicate. Let me come back to this page. Sorry, I want to just break this. Let me come back to this page. If you look at the visual I have here on this page now, we have some level of visual. We have the daily sales trend. So our daily sales, each time what the goods sell. Okay, I think I was trying to do something here. Let me put this off. Okay. Let me not put it off. Sorry. So if you come here now, this is the visual. Same thing with this. This is displaying the daily sales trend, and then this is doing the total sales by first name, and then this is of course the staff name, what they've sold, and then these are the 7 products that we sold, the top 7. So this conveys a level of information. To some extent, this gives you an idea of your performance for the year. But more than just this, more than just what happened, can you show us some hidden trends? Can you show us some hidden patterns in your data? That's what I want to really do. That's how I feel communication should be, beyond what everybody will see on the surface. I want to go deeper, uncover some things I probably would not even know in my data. So that's what I want to do, really. And like I said, if for those who don't know what a tooltip is, if I over any visual here, if I over this visual here, if you look at it, this total sales 2,684, is this pounds or euros you are seeing, and then the dates. This is something called a tooltip. That means when you over any data points, it should give you some level of information. That's what a tooltip is. When you over anything, it gives some level of information so that you can, beyond what you can say. Of course, if I do not over it, I will not know what I've sold here. So that's how Power BI works. So once you see this thing come up, just know that's a tooltip. And this is the default tooltip in Power BI. This is the default tooltip. You can customize your tooltip, which is what I was trying to do here. I was trying to customize the tooltip for use. All right, so now once I'm here, I probably would want to see what are the things I probably want to see. Let me see my customer. Let me see my customer. So let me come under customers, and then let's say the amount they sold. So I wrote some level of dark so that you can give me more flexibility. I don't want to start writing that, so I needed to write this before the session started because of time. Sorry if you probably are not so familiar with that. Just allow me to use this. I can now click on this. This is the total sales. This is good. And I want to see something else. Maybe the month-on-month percentage in terms of sales. Of course, this will not come up because there's no date filter here. So it's still just going to be like this, which is fine. So we have this. These are customers, the total sales they made, and then the month-on-month change in their sales performance. So that's something. I can now come here to this month-on-month. Let me add something called conditional formats, and I want to maybe make it icons. So I want to be dynamic with what I'm saying here. Under this, I would remove this. So I can come here. If sales is more than 0, let me say number. I'm so sure of number. And lesser than, let me say 101, a number. Then this should be show me a green. This is a positive increase. So month-on-month change. So show me this green. But if sales is, let me say, greater than minus 100 number, of course, percentages would never be more than this, and lesser than 0 number. So show me, where's the red icon? Okay, show me this drop icon. Okay, show me this drop icon. I will just do okay. Once I do okay here, let me even see something else I can do. Under this conditional formats again, let me come back here, icons. I want to see icon layouts, left of data. Okay, I think this is fine. This is fine. The alignment should be at the top left of data. Okay, I think this is fine. Let me have it on the right. Sorry, not left. So I think this is better on the right. Okay. Now I've done this tooltip. If I come here now to this page, if I come here, let me just name this page. So if I come to my overview page, I will just, if I click on this now, I'll come under general. Of course, come under your format, come under general. You see something here called tooltip, and I'll change from the default. Remember, I said this, the default is what you were saying. So change to the reports page. From the reports page, then I will put it on the tooltip page. Remember, the page name is called tooltip, so I'll put it on the tooltip page. Now look at whatsoever it is I over it. Look at what will come up. But this is just what is showing here, but I can still make this better even more. So I can come back to this tooltip, and let me add more like a card. Let me add a card. Let me add a card at the top. Let me add the card. Let me add our total transactions. Let me reduce this. To maybe a 12. Okay, and then I prefer Go UI. And look, let me increase this. 12 is too small. So let me work on the category label too. And okay, Let me reduce this. So I can do this. So maybe I want to see the total sales too. Or let me see what else can I see from here. And then maybe I want to now see the sales difference. So not just the percentage month-on-month difference. Let me see the amount. Okay, that may not necessarily work, but let's see. It depends on how the data is, but let me see. Let me check that. Okay. So now if I come back here, if I come to the overview page, so if I want to see in this particular date, what happened in our sales? So that means at this person, this customer bought, and then this was the total amount he bought for that day. And there was a positive, so there was a positive change in terms of what this particular customer did. But in terms of our month-on-month performance, generally, there was a decline. So you can see at the top, there's a month-on-month decline in our overall sales, but this particular customer at Schweger, he bought at this, and this is more than what he bought last. That means probably didn't buy last month, but there's a 1,684% change in the right direction than what we saw last year. So we had 2 transactions for that same period last month. So probably you are looking, okay, let's look at this spike. This one that spiked, what happened? So you can see we had 14 transactions, and then we are from these 3 people. Joe sold the most. So you can see, and this there was even a month-on-month decline. That means previous months we had 88. What's this? 88 euros lesser than previous month. The previous month, I believe. But really, this way you can even tell more stories. I can still customize this even more to show more information, give more information away. But with this, we can even have some level of insight to our data, not just what we can see by putting up this, and then that's all. You can tell stories even more. With this, you can start asking questions, querying your data. You know, people say the best when you know as an analyst that you've done job is when people can ask valid questions. People can brainstorm and ask valid questions on what you are putting up. Like people are just putting up, people are just sleeping and then just going. No, data should make us inquisitive. What happened? This you are showing me. What could have been the reason? When people have questions, that shows that you've done a good job as an analyst. But questions should not be what exactly are you communicating here? Those are not the questions I'm saying. But questions that are related to your data. How can we go deeper into this data? That's when you know that you've done a good job as an analyst. I also believe in that line of thought. So that's why I'm doing this. I can also add this to the tooltip, so I can continue to add this to the tooltip under general. I can also add this to the tooltip, and the tooltip will still be will still be dynamic in its use case. If I change the year, let's say I want to change the year now. If I do anything, it will still be dynamic. It will still be dynamic. So Janet, as a salesman, as a salesperson, look at the people Janet sold to, and then this is the performance. This is their performance. So these are their performances of those Janet sold to. Maybe I want to see, so you can actually go deeper. I can filter and even still have my tooltip still work. So it doesn't matter if you are filtering your data, tooltip will still work very well. So this is one beautiful thing with tooltip. And oftentimes I tell people always hide your page, tooltip page, so that it is not seen. When you probably want to deploy it to the service, always ensure you hide your tooltip so that it will not be part of the pages that will be seen in the Power BI service. So you can exclude your hidden pages in Power BI service. But if you don't hide it, then when people are going through your report, the Power BI tooltip page, so you need to always hide it so that it doesn't show up amongst the reports page. It's just a navigation page. Okay. Another beautiful thing you can do to your report or to your visualization game that would make it look that will differentiate from the rest. You can actually leverage on some level of AI in your visualization. Yes, I want to explain what this now, what could have happened. So if I come here now and say analyze, explain the increase. If I come here and I say explain the increase, maybe I want to have more information, more insight to what is happening in my data. Why was this increase? Why was there an increase in this particular period? So I can tell Power BI to actually explain that increase for me. And it's going to give me some level of information as to why there was an increase. So it's telling you here's the analysis of the 860.24% increase in total sales between this date and this date. So it's still coming up with the results. Maybe we need to hold on for some moments while it comes up with the result. Once it comes up with this, it will explain what happened during that period, what made the sale actually go up. Okay, it's coming up. Yep. So you can see that one of your products, Quick Stop, accounted for the majority of the increase among ship name. Okay, this is the ship name, offsetting the decrease of Americans. The relative contribution made by Americans changed the most. So you can see, it's giving me level of info. It will go from my. So this is by ship city. So these are all for my data, right? So ship name, it did by ship name. It explained the increase by the employee, the staff ID, that's the employee ID, that's the employee. It's also showed by the customer ID, the customers that got the most during that period that made their sales go up. The other ID, so it's explained by differences by the city. What city brought this number of revenue for us as a firm? So it's doing a whole lot of things here for you to see. All right, so this is another way of telling better stories. So you can actually go deeper into your data beyond the surface level analysis most people do. You're going deeper into your data and you can tell beautiful and wonderful stories with this. And if you want to see it in another kind of chart, you don't want to see it in a scatter, in this waterfall chart, you can do a scatter chart, you can do a 100% stack column charts. If you want, so this is all just to have a proper look at a data set. So it's giving you different options of you visualizing your data so you can have some level of information. You can understand your data even more. So this is how we can use our tooltip, and we can use the explain by. There's also a chance of using include and exclude. You can include, maybe you see this as an outlier. For those who work with outlier data, you can say exclude this from my data, exclude this particular outlier from my data. So you can use the exclude feature here and then include. So it would exclude whatever it is you want to exclude, or what you want to include in your so you could, just for the sake of understanding your data even more, if probably you are seeing an outlier that is making your data, your analysis skewed or tilting towards an angle that is not supposed to be, you can actually exclude an outlier, and it works also that way. So this is one beautiful thing you can also do to your visual to actually make it to go beyond what every other person do. So the exclude, the include, and the explain feature are tools we should explore. Really, it does a whole lot. It takes a visualization game to the next level. Okay, so let me quickly look at something else because of time. I want to filter this. Okay, so now let's look at something called the drill tool. We still want to look at the drill down feature. Okay, so if I come here now, let's say we want to do sales by, want to do this level of information. Let me put some things off. So now, let me see what we can use as our drill. Okay, so let me use our products. Let me use our products here. Let me take this off and use our products. So let me just explain what this drill through means. That means, like we see here, I see different visualization. But want to go deeper, want to expand on a certain feature, maybe this Margaret, want to expand on what Margaret has done, so that we can see Margaret in a bigger spectrum. That is what a drill through would do. So to drill that report, that person you want to, that entity you want to look at, to drill another page so that you can look through what that person has done or whatever it is you want to look at in that for that particular case. So that's what a drill through does. So obviously you need to create a report of what you want to see. So that means what people will drill to once they want to have a drill, what they want to drill to. So once they click on drill to, then this would now serve as something they can use to drill to this page. So now once we are here, I've built the report. So I've done this. If I come down here, you see drill through. So you now say add drill to fields here. So if I come here and then I say, what's the thing I want to use as the drill through again? Let me see. I said the product. Good. So I said the product. I'll probably just click on this. And then I come here to products. Yep. So I can use the product name as the. So once I use product name, did you see what happened? Once I put on the product name, you can see this icon. All right, so this icon shows that this page has been used for a drill-through page. Of course, this is a button. You can add it yourself, but once you, by default, you add the page, you make the page a drill-through page. This comes up by default. Of course, like I said, you can always do more with your pages. You are not limited by what you can put on your page. But for the sake of this, I just have to come up with something small so that we can, not something too big, so that we can just understand the basics, and probably on our own, we can explore these applications even more. So once I come here, if I come back to this overview page now, if I come back to this overview page, if I come to this product, if I right click, can you see something called drill through? So if I click on this now, to now take me to this page, and then the page would have been filtered down to what I'm looking at. That's the product name. Let me go back. Let me look at the product name again that I am drilling on. So this Cote de Blaye, I don't know what that is, but it's Cote de Blaye. So if I come back here now, let me see. So this Cote de Blaye now, this is what we sold, and then this is our total sales for the year. We only sold it in 1997. This total sales, the sales previous month is this, and then the month-on-month change in our sales, and the month-on-month percentage change. So this is some level of information. If I want to maybe check something else, okay, because I filtered down, so I was wondering it's not so. Let me uncheck this my filter. Let me uncheck this my filter. So if I do my Cote de Blaye now, it's going to give me the full report, because I was seeing previous month and it's not supposed to be. Okay, so now we sold it in 1996, 1997. This is our performance over time with that product. Okay, so with this, we can have some level of insight into our product. Maybe this product is what we are spotlighting for that particular meeting. What's happening with this product? Used to be the least selling product. What happened that it became the top selling product? Let's explain more about it. I can do that due to right click on it, and then I'll go through to the page. You can include anything you think would make your visualization, make your story, make you tell a better story. So you can include anything whatsoever. You're not limited to this thing I put up. You can, anything that will make your story better, just include it in your intro, and it will surprise you how it will help you tell a better story. Like I said, the goal is that people can ask you questions. Why? What is happening? Why is this like this? So you can easily use this to answer questions, or to even give them more insight into your data, into their data, or into your data if you are also a stakeholder. So this is a beautiful feature also in Power BI that will take your analysis beyond, or your visualization beyond the basic level. Like I said, almost every analyst does visualization, but there are certain things that will separate you from every other analyst. This is it's not limited to all this I'm showing you. I'm not saying this it is limited to all this I'm showing you. There are tons of other features you can use, but I'm just showing you this for the sake of this session. Okay, so now let's look at something else. Let's look at something else. Let's look at what we call drill down. Let's look at something we call drill down. Okay, for this I'll need to create a visual. I don't think I did this before, so let me use a stacked bar chart. Sorry, I'm a bit fast. I'm just trying to so that we don't spend too much of time. While on the maybe when I'm done, I can now come down to. I can probably just take it back again and then view the things I've done and maybe explain even more for those who probably would be lost. But let me just wrap this up. Let's say our total transactions. Let me see total transactions now. Put up my data label, put this off, title, put this off, put up the title here. Okay, and then let me change the color of my bars. And please, when you're doing visual, be mindful of colors. Probably, if I'm talking about colors now, colors is another thing that we need to spend time on talking about. Be mindful of colors. Red, you can see when I was doing my conditional formats, I ensured that red was for decline, green is for increase. Don't use green and red anymore when it comes to visualization. Because standard, business-wise, when you see red, it means a poor performance. When you see green, it means a good performance. So we should be mindful of colors. People just put colors up anyhow. As an analyst, you should be mindful of color. It means a whole lot when it comes to business. If I see red anywhere, that means danger, poor, or something. So don't use red to mean a good performance. So don't just use red anyhow. Only use it when you want to explain that there was a poor performance. So that's why if you look at my conditional format, when there was a decline, which is a poor performance, or relatively, it's a poor performance, I used red for it. And when there was an increase, I used green. So please be mindful of colors. I said that because I'm looking, this color I put up is just for this. So be mindful of colors. The colors are a very big part of visualization if you call yourself an analyst. Now looking at this now, if I want to maybe, I have my total transactions by country, but I want to be able to drill down from countries. Remember that there are hierarchies when it comes to countries. So from country, there is maybe city. I think from this data we have city. We even have the address. So we have city, we have address in this data. That means I probably want to check, okay, I've seen USA as a country. Can I see the cities inside of USA that got this revenue? After seeing the city, maybe I want to even go deeper into the address. Still on this same visual. Still on this same visual. That is what we want to look at. So if I want to do this, I can, I'll just need to put in my, let me come back here. So there are different ways of doing it, but I would show you this and then maybe I would explain the other way later. I'll put my city here and then put my address. Of course, this is a stacked bar chart. It will not show every other thing. It will not show every other thing. But if you notice something that has happened, these things here actually started working. If I put it off, put it back off, put this back off, that's that they've gone off. They've gone off. But once I put in my city, I put in my address. So this naturally they form hierarchy. But if you want to put something, maybe I even want to put the contact name. So I know the names of the people. It's also fine. So you can see that all these things are back. So once I want to drill down, I'll click on this to turn on the drill down. So I click on this now, then this becomes active. So now this is telling me go to the next level in the hierarchy. So the next level in the hierarchy is the city. I'll click on this and then it's taken to the city. You can see it has taken me to the city. And then if I want to go to the next again, I will click on this, take me to the addresses. But if I want to maybe see everything, I can just, maybe I'll go back and then I'll say expand all level, expand all down by one level in hierarchy. So I want to be seeing this city, the country, and then the city. So you can see UK here, we have London. Austria, we have this. Brazil, you have this state in Brazil. This island, we have Cork, we have, so this is, I've expanded by the city and by the country, and then I'm seeing the city. I can even still go another level and say the address. So the city, and then these are the addresses in those cities. They have got this revenue. I can even go further, still drill down, then give me the name of the people. I say the name of the people from those locations. Those locations, and then I can hover over them to actually have more information so that we can know. This is from this Milton Doctor address is from Albuquerque, thereabout, and it is an island. And this is the person, Patricia McKenna. So you can go deeper and then tell beautiful stories by using this drill down feature in Power BI. This is a wonderful feature that can take your analysis beyond the surface level. You can tell wonderful stories. Better storytelling is what this will give to you. Now, at times you may not want to be clicking everything one by one. So you don't want to click everything one by one. You just want to click once and then all these things come in. So for you to do that, you can just come here. Maybe I'll just, under my control, I'll create an hierarchy by myself. You look here, you see create hierarchy. Create hierarchy. Once you create the hierarchy, country becomes an hierarchy. I can now add things to the hierarchy. If I come to city, I want it to be in the hierarchy too. If I come here, you see add to hierarchy, and I'll click on it, and then I say country hierarchy. What else do I need to add? Address. I would add address to the hierarchy, and I would add contact name to the hierarchy too. So if I come here and then I add to the hierarchy. So instead of me clicking on everything one by one, if I click on this hierarchy now, so you can see everything comes in at once. Everything comes in at once based on the hierarchy I've created. So from here, then I can now start drilling down. I can start drilling down, drill down. When I'm done, I can drill back up, drill back up, drill back up, or bring everything in at the same time. So I can now start. Seeing. I can go to the next hierarchy, go to the next hierarchy, and then the next. If there is a next, okay, there is no next. So this is how you can use drill down for your visualization in Power BI. Then you can, of course, like I said, you tell wonderful stories too that way. All right, so let me just think I've done most of what I want to do. So maybe just a quick recap of what we've done so that questions and all can be asked. I don't want to go beyond our time. We've seen how these things work. We've looked at tooltip, we've looked at include, exclude, we've looked at explain, we've looked at that explain does the increase or decrease, it depends. So if I look at decrease here now, this decrease, if I click on it, so analyze, so it's okay, there was a decrease. Let me see the one I want a decrease. Okay, I think I know how to do. Let me expand this. So this is obviously, and this is a decrease. So yeah, explain the decrease. So you can see that it does the decrease to not just increase alone. It does the decrease, it does the increase. So to the explain, and then you can scroll down. So and I think you can even add it. You can add it to your page. Maybe you want the visual. You can add the visual to your page. So that's another beautiful thing about this. So this is explained. Then we've looked at tooltip. I said when you over something, the thing that come up here is a tooltip, so you can customize a tooltip. And we've looked at how to customize the tooltip. And like I said, you are not limited to this alone. You can customize as much as you want. customize as much as you want. Just anything that would help you tell a better story, just do. Just do. Don't just limit your data set to what others would do. There are many AI features like your key influencer visual. This key influencer visual is also a very nice visual to use that would explain certain increase and decrease in your data. It would explain just a lot of proper data summary for you. You can explore this. There's also the smart narrative. Narrative is also one key, and it has been improved on. For those who probably do not like, I formerly do not like narrative in Power BI, but now it has been improved on. With Copilot and all that, it does a better job now. So you can also still check this out. And of course, Copilot is there for you. Copilot can actually help you summarize the data sets to garner insight that probably would not be that will be hidden, that will not be on the surface to you. So these are many more you can do in Power BI. There's also the new card that you can help. The new card visual, where's that? The new card visual. So you can also use that to up your visualization. You can now visualize more than just a value field. You can visualize the whole of this new card. So you can explore things in Power BI that can help you take your visualization game to the next level. So I'll be dropping my mic here. So we have 10 minutes for Q&A. I want to believe there are questions. If things not clear, just want to ask before we call it a wrap for this session.
Yeah, wow. Thanks a lot. There has been some activity in the chat, but it seems we had an assistant instructor. So Paul has been helping to answer some of the questions too. So far, I don't think there's anything outstanding. The thing we will have brought to your attention was about how to make the analyze show, which was simply just right clicking on the chat. So we give the answer to the participant and she or he confirmed that, yes. Any other questions for Toba? In the interim, while we wait for questions, there are two questions we generally ask every speaker we host. And I think I better start asking you because it might take you some minutes to answer them all, though there are two questions. So one is to hear about your journey. How did you get into the space of data analytics and, doing this at this full-time professional level? Was it something you've always wanted to do? Was the journey easy for you? Was it, convoluted? What's that interesting things that you encountered? I want to hear the full gist.
Okay. So data analysis for me was not something I wanted to do from the onset. I started from being a footballer. Before I came into the world of IT, I wanted to be
There's more money in football, huh?
But can I make it to that top? It is when you're at the top, that's when you make more money. But
It's not too late now. You can still be under 11 or under 12, football age.
I think my
you can be 40 years old. Even 40-year-old people do under 17.
My body will tell me if I'm doing 14, under 14 now. So yeah, I wanted to be a footballer, but eventually I knew that I could not be at the top. So I dabbled into IT, started with front-end development, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, jQuery too at that time. That was 2016, 2017, thereabouts. But school could not allow me, so I was just doing bits by bits. But when I wanted to leave school, I knew that now I'm coming to, I'm beyond the four walls of the school. Now it's life per se. So what exactly do I want to do with my life? So that was around 2019. So that was when data science started coming up. So I started hearing about data science, and I researched about it. It was something that was so nice that almost every firm would eventually need it. So I wanted to do something that would be valuable to anybody, that is not just some certain set of people. So I started with data science. I was in data science. Well, it got to the point someone was asking me, do I know about Power BI? If I'm a data scientist, do I use Power BI? Do I do this and all that? I started researching again. I've been doing data science for some time. I've been learning data science. I don't even know what Power BI is. So when I started on Power BI, I saw that Power BI is actually a tool for data analysis. And from there, I started knowing about data analysis again, checked online. I saw that most of the jobs, especially in the Nigerian space there, most of the jobs were all around data analysis. There were a few jobs around data science and all that. So I started learning data science too, started data analysis, dumped data science, and learning. 2021, I got my January 2021, I got my first role in data analysis, and it has just been there. It has been up from there. That's been my journey, and then hopefully we still take it beyond the shores of Nigeria to the global stage soon enough.
Great, great. I'm I'm still pushing for the football dream because there's a lot of money in football. When I see the people
It's a
cashing
lot.
out,
Mhm, mhm.
it's like winning the jackpot. Okay,
Even if you're not
so
good, so I can put you to the top. You are eating it
yeah,
big.
I think what I hear some people do, they try to leave the where everybody's focusing. Most people focus on just some select place. They look for maybe like these Middle East, some not so popular European clubs, and
Mm.
there's no competition. Any Nigerian that is slightly good in football, the only problem might just be making the first contact with the clubs, but you will bench other people there.
I believe
Yeah,
so, but at the same time, they are not relenting too. They are not relenting.
it's true
Look
anyway,
at
and you
Saudi
have already
Arabia. They
gone
are
far.
investing heavily.
Yeah. Uh, so the other question I wanted to ask, which we always ask, hey, let me even ask: have you seen maybe somebody who is 50 still like doing football age of 20 something? Yes, I've always heard very interesting stories.
Come again, I didn't hear that.
So I said maybe I should just even ask you, what's the most interesting story you've heard about football age? Have you heard maybe somebody who is 50 years old doing football age of 20?
Ah.
Maybe that one is too
It's
extreme.
a common thing. It's not though. I've seen
Yeah.
someone that it looks like this man was close to 50, and then the person was playing. I
Oh
think he
God.
was a Cameroonian footballer playing for under 17 then. So it went viral. So it's a funny scenario when you are way beyond the, but just to push and you just need to
You started
have
late.
another.
Uh,
It's funny. No, like
so the
even
second.
you know that this man is good. This man is close to 50, probably on his fifth child as a father or his
Wow.
pregnancy. Was it went viral that
Wow.
I think that was 5 years, 4 years ago or so.
My
It was
God.
viral.
Uh,
Funny things.
so the other question we want to ask you, the last question is what's your advice for people who are starting this journey anew, who are, let me say they're at that point where you've not decided whether to do data science or do data analysis in this format that you're doing. So if there was somebody that was in that stage, and there's someone like you who has gone far ahead, and was there when you were that, what would be the kind of advice you would give?
Okay. So if I'm to advise people, what I tell people most times is be consistent in what you do, because eventually opportunity will come. There's no man that who is consistent that you would have an opportunity to showcase what you have. But if you have not been consistent in learning, you have not been serious with learning. When the opportunity comes, you would mess up. So always be consistent. It may not look like something's going to come out of it, but if you know what you want, you've seen that this is something I want to do, then go for it with all you can. Just there are times you want to give up, there are times you are down. Still remain. Consistency is, I think that was something I posted even last week, Monday or so on LinkedIn. So about how you need to be consistent with learning. If you are learning, you are not getting, you are confused, but you are so sure this is what I want, but you are confused. With this thing, people have been doing this for a year or two. Money is not coming. People are not even just do what be consistent. So far, you know that this thing is something that is valuable to people, it's valuable to firms and all. Just keep going at it, keep doing it. One day, one time, the opportunity will come, and then you can show forth those time of learning, and you would eat it big. So be consistent in what you do. the opportunity will come. That would be my advice for those who want to learn or those who are learning currently. Don't give up.
I mean, great. Thanks a lot for this. And I think this is something I found common in all the answers we've gotten, even when they don't use these very words. You see that they spent on average more time, more, uh, they put in more efforts, and they kept doing outside of regular, what you do, your normal 9 to 5 work hours. We heard people keep saying, they always went out on their own free time to keep furthering their knowledge, even when they're already in the field, you know. So that consistency, thanks for mentioning it. And okay, Cynthia says she has figured out the answer to her question. She was asking how you make the figures have comma style. Okay, I think that way is a very nice session where people are asking and answering their own questions and not bothering the presenter.
That's
Okay.
good. That's good.
Thank you
Shows
very
people
much.
that
You're very,
understand.
yeah, you did a very wonderful job. Apart from even the technical bit, the background, why something is important, the red and green color choice. These are things that people don't think through, you know, maybe because they've not had to be critiqued by an outside party or in a business environment around what they do, and you are bringing all those wealth of knowledge to bear in even the other things you are explaining. So thank you very much for the generosity. I am looking at the chat, no other questions, and I would say thank you very much again for the time and the even not just the time with us now, the time you have spent at the background before this session today to prepare all these materials. Thank you, and from the on behalf of the audience too, we say thank you, and to everybody that joined today's session, thank you very much. And so we bring today's session to a close, and have a wonderful week ahead, a wonderful month ahead too. And I think this is the Ember month. To me, they are like the month where you, when I was growing up, we used to remember Ember month as month of like, hey, don't travel except essential travel. Oh. Now it is the month of like you start doing financial calculations. You start checking your plans at the start of the year, the money you have left, and what you can still achieve before the end of the year is like. So how things change. Okay, someone's hand is up. Munisola, let me just see if I can give her ability to speak by adventure. Maybe she wants to thank you or she wants to ask a question. We don't know which one it is. Munisola, I've given you ability to speak.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good
Hello,
evening.
good evening.
Yeah,
Happy New Month. Thank you. Thank you so
Same
much.
to you.
I've actually been on the move while having this class on. This
Okay.
webinar on. I have not even really had time to sit down, been on the move. So I just want to ask that please can we have access to these recordings so that one will be able
Yes,
to go
through
please.
the
I beg you in the Lord.
name of
If
God.
I'm if I'm if I'm able to sit with it, if I'm able to sit, I love Power BI so much. Seriously. If I'm able to sit with it and practice, then better for me, please. And I know it's going to be better for every one of us checking, watching it. It's all about sitting with this video, then practice it as we are watching it. The way you started, we are doing it. Because this is the way me I actually like doing it. I will have it on a system watching, I will have it on another system practicing. So
Yeah,
I'll be
makes sense.
watching, practicing. So that's the way I do. When I'm being taught, I'll just be looking. But just
Yeah,
give me the recordings. Let's go back.
right,
Because when you are teaching, I will not be able to grasp everything.
correct.
It's not everything, but go back, sit down. I would want to sit with two laptops. I'm looking, I'm practicing, I'm looking, I'm practicing. So please, I will appreciate if you can have access to these recordings.
Great.
God
So
bless.
thank you for this comment and question, and in fact, validating why there's value in us recording it, so it's good. And I have posted the link where you access the recording by tomorrow. It's most likely tomorrow afternoon, because it takes us like
Yeah.
the person who is going to edit and upload it, we do it on Monday. So by tomorrow afternoon, it will be on the link I put in the chat.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
You
you.
don't
I
know
hope
when
you are
I've
not the
started.
one driving. Oh,
No, 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 no.
oh thank
I'm not the one
God.
driving. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, thank you to our speaker too. So, great. And I think that's all. Nobody else hand is up. No other comments. So thank you very much, Oloruntoba, and we hope to have you again in the future. And again, happy new week, happy new month.
So,
Bye.
thank you so much for having me. Bye. Bye. Bye.